Meowdy everyone, I'm Asti Spumati, and today I'm going to talk about how to get your own house here in Eorzea. With the looming patch adding new wards, I'm sure a lot of you are gunning for your own slice of home. So, how do you get your first house? Step 1. Find your nearest boy shrine. Step 2. Once at the shrine, make an offering and pray in the traditional method, with dance. Some say unequipping all gear is an important step. In the case of House Battle Royale, it's better to take no chances. Step 3. Click the signboard till you can't click no more. If the gods look favorably upon your dance, you'll get a house! Okay, now that we've had a laugh, here's what you actually need to know going into 5.35. Step 1. The boss of the first-time housing dungeon is the timer. While the lodestone post said both free companies and individuals can buy houses, they didn't mention changing the timer system at all. At present, there's a timer that starts when a plot goes up for sale. This is also tied in with a devaluation timer which lowers the cost, but the main thing is that it won't let you actually buy the plot until it pops, which it doesn't tell you how long that is. You just have to try and buy it and either be told, nah, or suddenly you now own land. You might be thinking, well, whatever, that just means there'll be a mass of us clicking the placard. Step 2. Temper your expectations. So that timer? Free companies and individual players who are relocating from a different house don't have to abide by them. They can just walk up and buy the house. I know, it's rough. But what this means, if you're a first-time house buyer, is to accept that you probably won't get the beachside cottage directly next to the market or a large house. You may lose out on placard roulette to other players multiple times despite sitting there clicking for an entire day. But I said probably for a reason. While they didn't say they were ditching the timer system, they did say, this time however, either type of estate will be immediately available for purchase without restriction. Were they talking only about restricting single players from buying at all? Or were they including the timer in these restrictions as well? Step 3. Make a plan. If I were going for my first house, here's what I would do. First, figure out my dream plot, that I have the money for anyways. This is subjective obviously, but tour the wards, see what strikes your fancy. I've linked to a set of maps posted on Reddit that you can use to see how much different plots cost. Also, you need a construction permit, which costs extra, so plan to drop an additional $1 or so on that. Okay, target acquired, right? Kind of. Remember, there are 6 of that house going between the 3 new wards and their subdivisions. Subdivisions generally are lower priority, and in the case of Mist, they have a killer view of the sunset. So, going for that plot in a subdivision might improve your chances. Choose a specific one. If you aren't going for a medium or large, also have a second or third choice in that ward, in case your dream house sells before you get there. Now, your dream house, is it anything other than a 5th class plot? If timers are still a limiter for first-time homebuyers, accept that you won't get that house. There's no harm in trying for it in case the timers are gone, since you'll know super quick whether you've got it or not. Worth a shot, right? If the timers are still a thing, you'll know within like 15 minutes which houses weren't snapped up by free companies and relocations that weren't limited by timer. At that point, grab a snack and settle in on ClickFest for one of your remaining choices. The timers seem to pop in the about 8 to 12 hour range, but can absolutely pop outside that range. There's no harm in trying for it in case the timers are gone, since you'll know super quick whether you've got it or not. Worth a shot, right? Step 4. Know your route. Once you have your primary and secondary targets, figure out the quickest way to get there. I would recommend logging out before the patch at the main aetheryte for the housing district. Then, figure out the closest aetheryte shard to the house you want, and the path to the house's placard. A mount's cast timer isn't short, so consider using Peloton or things like En Avant. Memorize this route. And also memorize the quickest way to get from your first choice over to your second and third choices. If you don't get your first choice, open your map, see what's left, and move. Hesitation loses this game. Step 5. Put the Gill on your character. Make sure you have it on you and not on a retainer. If you're gunning for an FC house, make sure that whoever will be trying for the house has the total amount of money on them, and the permissions on their rank in the free company to actually do estate things like buy it. Step 6. Set yourself to busy. Before logging out on Patchmas Eve, set yourself to busy. This will prevent people from trying to trade with you while you're trying to buy your house, which can cancel that out. I've never seen anyone actually try it, but better safe than sorry. Step 7. Log out in your spot. Log out in your predetermined spot on Patchmas Eve, and set an alarm for about an hour before patches normally go live for you. Step 8. Download the patch and log in. Download and install the patch, then log in as quickly as possible. Step 9. Hope RNGesus blesses you. Either you get your house or you don't. If you are stuck waiting on the timer, chat with your fellow placard clickers, use some dance emotes, try and make it enjoyable, and don't forget to stretch your clicking hand. I won't say it's easy. It's not. If you're on a big server like Balmung, pray extra hard at the boy shrine. Consider a house in the Goblet, since that's usually the least competitive housing despite the lovely mountain views and killer swimming pool. Step 10. Plan for next patch? So, even if you don't get your dream house, if you can get any house, relocating when a better house comes up makes things easier. It's a guarantee of skipping the timer both on patch day and the rest of the year. If you do have to settle for a less than ideal spot, just keep an eye on the residential boards for houses opening up, which, by the way, some will open on patch day even, as those players relocate to houses in the new wards. Someone might trade their beachside small for a medium or large in the new ward. Good luck everyone, and may the housing odds be ever in your favor.